Hello again, everybody. So, we're going to be looking at another way or a new way to measure an angle. Measure an angle. I don't know why I'm stammering on that. I was going to say on the unit circle, but it doesn't have to be on the unit circle. All right. You know from what we just did, this is 0 degrees. And notice I'm using the degree symbol on this. This is 90 degrees. 180 degrees. I know you know this. Just run with me for a second. 270 and 360. That's assuming a positive rotation. All right. This is based on like the protractors that you guys have used. You've been using. It's an artificial way of cutting something up, cutting a circle up into 360 parts. So you have, 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees. It's an artificial division. They just chose 360. Maybe they used to have a calendar that was 360 days long. So each day represents one piece of all the way around. Right? Like a day is one piece of all the way around the sun. Radians is another way to measure an angle. Radians, the definition of it, which you don't need for this assignment, I'm just trying to motivate what a radian is. An angle, so this is theta, measured in radians, is determined by its arc length divided by its radius. Now it seems a little complicated, but it's really not that bad. So, if I were to have this angle here, this angle is represented, theta, is your arc length over your radius. This is your arc length here, this distance here, this piece of the circumference. That's S, and this is your radius. Well, in the unit circle, we already talked about, that's a radius of 1, so your R is 1, so it's really just your S when you're on the unit circle. So we need to know what length that is, and that's what the angle represents. Okay? So your angle is determined by how much arc you're cutting off. Now this is, we would normally cover this more in depth in class, but we need to pare it down. We're doing this online. We can't give you everything that we normally do. I just am trying to motivate for you where radians come from. Okay. Your task is to be able to convert an angle from degrees into radians. The conversion, when you're going from degrees to radians, let's say we have 210 degrees, and I want to convert that into radians. You're going to multiply by pi over 180 degrees. Okay? Now, that's a little bit messy. It's not that I don't think you guys can handle. Why am I multiplying by, come on, why am I taking this number and multiplying it by this fraction? I think you guys could handle it just fine. If we were doing this in class, we would definitely go through it and I would definitely show you where it's coming from. But because we're doing this online, I'm trying to keep this straightforward and simple and just show you what you need to know to get the assignment done. Okay? When you're going from degrees to radians, you multiply by pi over 180. Okay? When you multiply fractions, you go straight across. So you have 210 degrees times pi over 180. All right, a couple things. First, the degree symbols cancel out. The zeros would cancel out. So right now I got 21 pi over 18. There's a 3 that's going to cancel out to give you 7, 6. So your answer is 7 pi over 6. Do not type pi into your calculator. Leave it as 7 pi over 6. And you can type this in your answer as 7 pi, use the diagonal key, 6. Okay? Do not type pi in. Just let it be pi. It's perfectly happy being pi. Okay? If you had I don't know, let's go look at delta math and see what we got there. Okay, there's a 210, 285. All right, 285 degrees. You want to convert that to radians. So pi over 180. When you multiply fractions, you just go straight across. So we have 285 pi, degree symbols there, 180. I don't know why this is slowing down so much. It's behind my handwriting. You've got this fraction 285 over 180. A little trick which you guys can do on your calculator is you can go, don't type the pi in. You can go 285 divided by 180. Go ahead and hit enter, and you get that decimal. Go to math, enter, enter. Excuse me. It reduces the fraction for you. So 19 twelfths. 19, oh, what am I writing? I don't know. What am I writing? Oh, 18. What was I thinking? 19. I did it again. How is that possible? Twice. Okay, 19. There we go. 12ths. The pi is still there. So put the pi back in. You didn't evaluate the pi, just let pi be pi. Okay? You're just going to multiply. Now, this angle is exactly the same as 285 degrees. It's like Celsius Fahrenheit, or Fahrenheit Celsius, whichever way you want to, I think I just said the same thing. Fahrenheit Celsius. Okay? It's another way to measure exactly the same place. Right? You're just going to multiply every single time by pi over 180. That's it. I don't think there's anything more I can tell you. Let's look at delta math. It's just asking you to convert the angles. You're going to do the same thing. It's just a bigger number. And there's the pi symbol. So when you need to type pi in, you're just going to type that. So like, for example, 210. When you look at it, 210 degrees. Oops, right here. So let's see, that's going to be 7 pi over 6. Hey, we just did it. It's right there. 7 pi over 6. Sorry. And we just type in 7 pi plus slash, and it does the fraction for you then, 6. And you submit the answer. Okay? That's all there is to it. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. Whoops, it's the wrong one, this one.